Okay, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the introduction to real estate marketing, and it's kind of an introduction, but also not an introduction because we're going to cover a lot of information, and we're going to focus mainly on farming, so geographical areas. So the things that we're going to cover: research. We're going to use this word a lot. You're going to see this throughout the whole presentation because research is a big part of what you need to do before you begin to market. And we're going to talk about researching pricing areas, researching the MLS mainly. Farming, we're going to talk about farming, mostly geographical farming. And budgeting for your farming. I don't know if that's something you guys have thought about as far as marketing yourselves, what your budget's going to be, or even thought about, oh God, that's something I do need to think about. We're going to talk about print marketing. So this is important to farming. Email or digital marketing, we're just going to touch on that. We're going to touch on social media marketing. We have another class that Cecilia puts together for us on social media marketing. And paid leads, we're also just going to touch on paid leads. We don't go into it, but we'll tell you where you can do paid leads.
I thought that's not illegal. That's not legal for the paid leads.
Yeah, you can pay for leads.
Facilitate the.
No, this is where someone sends you leads of buyers that are already probably pre-qualified or pre-approved for you to work with. And then you either pay them a percentage of the commission or you pay a monthly fee to get leads.
Like referral.
It's not referral. It's more you just like, we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. So first thing I want to talk about is confidence building, especially because you guys are newer agents. And it's a little intimidating going out and talking to people not knowing the market because people are going to ask you, how's the market? Oh, what do you think about, how much should I list my house for? What do you think it's worth? Or what are some good areas to buy in? Or whatever the questions might be. You might be a little intimidated and just like shy and not want to answer because, oh, I might not sound right, or maybe they'll think I don't know what I'm talking about. But part of confidence building, you have instant credibility being part of Coldwell Platinum Properties because it's a big brand and it's a world name brand that everybody knows throughout the entire world. We have offices in a lot of different countries throughout the world, and so know that helps you with confidence. The tools you need. So we provide you with the tools that you need to market yourself. We have CRMs that you can use to email market to send out drip campaigns or just individual emails to buyers and sellers. We have the marketing center where we have different templates that you can use for flyers to design your flyers. Support. You have knowledgeable people here in the office. Richard, myself, John, that can answer any questions. And if there's a question I can't answer, I'm pretty sure Richard's gonna be able to answer it. But and if not, your peers. There's tons of agents in this office that are very friendly. They're willing to answer any questions. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't go and like bother an agent over and over and over and over and over again because it might be a little too much for them. But if you have a question that you really want to know about, maybe you want to pick somebody's brain on marketing. I ask one of the agents out for lunch, say, hey, can I take you to lunch? I'd like to pick your brain on what you do for marketing. Who's going to say no to a free lunch? Realtors love free lunches. You guys will get to know that. And confidence building, become an expert in market trends, in the area that you plan on farming. Know what's how much property is selling for, what's on the market, what's in escrow, and what's recently sold, and who the agents are that are farming the area, things like that. The more you know about a particular area that you're going to be marketing, the more you're going to look like an expert. So first thing you should do is, how many of you guys have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. That just ruined what I wanted to do. I was gonna say, launch your contacts on your cell phone. That's okay. So you have your contacts open. Okay. All of those people should know that you're in real estate. I would start with your sphere of influence, which is everybody in your contacts on your phone, whether text or email. everyone on this should know that you're in real estate. Whether it's, hey, how have you been? Just want to let you know I made a career change. I'm a realtor now I'm with Coldwell Banker Platinum Properties. If you or anyone you know has any questions or real estate needs, reach out. I'd be happy to help. And it's not bothering them. It's not like forcing them, hey, do you want to sell your house? Sell your house. Come on, I'm a realtor now. It's not that. And I think people a lot of new realtors get shy about that. Oh, I don't want to bother them. They're my friends or they're my neighbors. It's like you're not bothering them. You're just announcing, hey, I'm with Coldwell Banker Platinum Properties now. I'm a realtor. So if you guys are thinking about buying, selling, renting, investing, whatever it is, refinancing, you can refer them to a loan officer to help refinance. Reach out to me, and that's it. So everybody on your phone should know that you're a realtor. And then try to reach out to them a few times a year, maybe a couple times a year. You don't want to, again, like bug them, right? But just remind them, because out of sight, out of mind. You might tell someone, a family member, a friend, or a neighbor that you're in real estate, but they might not remember, right? And when they come to either buy or sell a house, or a family member's gonna buy or sell a house, and then they're not really thinking about you at the time. But if you just talked to them, you just got off the phone with them a week ago, they're gonna remember, right? So a couple times a year, you can even offer them a free CMA for you to practice, first of all, on creating CMA to evaluate their property, but also to remind them that you're in real estate, right? They're gonna keep that.
Can I have a question?
Sure.
For the CMA, is this special for listing
Yes,
or is for
it's for listing.
buyer as well?
It's for a listing. So
For
you
listing.
can also do a CMA for a buyer, but let me tell you what it is for a listing. So for a listing, it's trying to come up with a list price based on recent sales.
Right.
Because a seller and a property owner might tell you, I want to sell my house for $2 million. I already know that's how much I want, because I bought it for $1.2 million, and I put $800,000 into it in upgrades. So that's why it's worth $2 million. But when you look at the recent sales, it might just be $1.8 million, $1.750 million. And then the sales, the comps don't support what they want to sell it for, right? So they're probably not going to get the entire 2 million unless there's gold, installed on the faucets or something. But this is why we do CMAs, to kind of bring them back to reality and say, hey, look, this is what the homes are selling for. This is what buyers expect to pay for their home. And if, let's say someone does offer $2 million and the lender sends out the appraiser, it's not going to appraise for $2 million. It's going to appraise for $1 million, maybe $1.8 million. So the buyer might back out because then they have that $200,000 gap. So that has to come out of their pocket if they want to move forward with the sale, or they're going to cancel. So that's why we do CMAs, to let the homeowners know what their home is worth based on recent sales. There's a lot of information online, like a Zestimate on Zillow, that tells them what their home is worth. You go to Redfin, you go to all these different websites, and there's these values that they create based on algorithms and information online for recent sales. But what those systems do, the algorithms, they search maybe like a mile radius around the property, and they average all the information, all the sales, the data on the 3-bedroom homes, whether they're attached or detached, and they come up with the price. Now, that's not always accurate. Most of the time it's not accurate because you're comparing, let's say a mile radius, you're close to the major street, right? The home's close to the major street, but across that major street is a totally different neighborhood, which is still within a mile radius. Maybe that other neighborhood has newer homes that are worth more money, or maybe they're condos and they're worth a lot less money. It takes that information into consideration when it's coming up with this valuation information. And that's why homeowners need us as realtors to use similar properties to compare them, or similar sales, properties that recently sold, right? And that's what a CMA is for a seller. Now, for a buyer, if you're taking a buyer out to look at properties and they fall in love with this property, and they're asking you, how much do you think I should offer? Well, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, well, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, offer whatever you want to offer. What do you, you know, what would you like to offer? Well, there's gonna say, well, how much are the homes worth in this neighborhood? I don't wanna, you know, offer more or too low of an offer. So then if they really want it, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the MLS, you're gonna look up recent sales in that neighborhood, similar to that house,
Okay.
and say, look, the recent sales, they sold for this price. So it wouldn't be a reach offering this much money for that house. Maybe offer a little bit more than that because prices, you know, might be going up or they might be going down, depending, you know, we can offer less if they're going down, but this is how you would use that for a buyer.
Okay.
But you wouldn't do that for every house that they wanna look at, right? You'd only do that for a property they wanna submit an offer on.
Okay.
You might have some buyers that'll say, hey, do the numbers on these 5 homes that you emailed me. So it's like, no, let's go see the homes first
Oh, okay.
and see which ones you really wanna submit an offer on. If you do wanna submit an offer, then we'll do the numbers.
I see.
But if you haven't even looked at them and you don't know if you're even gonna like them, no.
You don't want to do like a preliminary summary of the house, let's say if you have a buyer, they are interested in this condition and you look for about 4 or 5 of them. Is it proper you put a comparison of 5 in the CMA format and show them, hey, this is the one at this moment fit for your
You
criteria,
can do that,
but okay.
but you might waste a lot of time, you know. They might end up saying, you know what, no, because of this, I don't even wanna see that one, and you just did all that work for that one property. And your time is better spent showing the properties, and then doing that for the ones that do wanna submit an offer on, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's move on, so research. You're gonna research pricing, right? And what are you gonna research pricing for what? For printing costs. How much is it gonna cost to print a postcard, a flyer, a door hanger, right? Because this is what you're gonna use to, for print marketing for your geographical farming. You wanna research mailing pricing. So if you're gonna mail the postcards or the flyers, you wanna know how much it's gonna cost to mail them, right? Well, there's different forms of mailing. There's every door direct mailing, which is known as EDDM. There's bulk mail and there's first class mail. And everyone does something a little bit different. Every door direct marketing is a format used by the post office where they have an EDDM tool on the USPS website that breaks up every zip code by carrier routes. So one zip code might have 3 carrier routes, another zip code might have 15 carrier routes. Each carrier route has a number associated with it, and the carrier route might consist of 3 streets or 4 streets, or maybe 1 street. And if you click on it, it'll tell you what street it covers, and you might have to click a few different carrier routes to get the whole area that you want to farm. And it tells you how many homes it covers and what the cost is gonna be for that, to deliver there. And I believe the cost to deliver is about 20 cents a piece. And it doesn't have the owner's name on it when it delivers to them, it just says local postal customer. And what the mailman does is, you know, the advertisements you get for like Ralph's or Pavilion or whatever it is, where the mailman searches through the mail that he's gonna give you, grabs a flyer from a stack that he's got up here, puts it with the mail into the mailbox, goes to the next mailbox, grabs the mail, grabs a flyer from the stack, puts it in the mailbox. That's what he's doing with your flyer. He or she. And that costs about 20 cents a piece to deliver. That's aside from your printing. Okay, that's one form of delivery. But only the person that lives in the property or occupies the property is going to get your flyer. That might mean that the owner doesn't live in the property, so the person that might want to sell the property isn't there. It's the tenant that's getting it.
Right.
So if you have a neighborhood full of maybe 80% rentals, where the owner doesn't live in the property, it's all the renters that are gonna get your flyer, right? The second one is bulk mail. Bulk mail costs, I believe, between 36 and 40 cents to deliver. And it should be like in a postcard format, and this one will have the owner's name printed on it and their mailing address. So if the owner does not live in the property, the postcard is still gonna be mailed directly to the owner. So if you're farming an area of, let's say 400, 500 homes, and let's say half of them are rentals, half of the people in that neighborhood are gonna, that live in the property, they're gonna get the flyer, postcard, and then the other half, they're gonna get it to wherever they live, right? So then you have half of the occupants that are not gonna get your flyer because they're renters. Does that make sense? So this is important because when you considering a farming area or neighborhood, you have to research how many of them are owner occupied, so you can know how you're gonna market to them. Is it a bunch of renters? Is it a bunch of owners? Is it like investors? What are we looking at? And then the other form of mailing of delivery is first class mail, and that's just a stamp. So whatever the stamps cost, you're gonna throw a stamp on it and mail it. So any questions on that? And then, of course, the other form of delivery is just you walk in the farm, which doesn't cost you anything, it just costs you. Well, I mean, it's not, that's not anything, time is valuable, so yeah, it costs you your time. Research, social media marketing, maybe research ads on social media, target marketing, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, those are the three main ones. And then research paid leads. So the three main websites for leads are Zillow, Trulia, and Realtor.com. And that's where you sign up. And I believe there's like they make you commit to either 6 months or a year or something like that. And a certain amount per month will ensure you so many leads per month.
What they should sign up with Zillow?
You can if you'd like to. The cool thing about Zillow, we'll talk about it when we get to that slide. But for now, let's move on. All right, so what is farming? So the definition pretty much of farming is in real estate marketing, farming refers to the strategic practice of focusing your marketing efforts on a specific geographical area or demographic group with the goal of building long-term, keep that in mind, brand recognition and becoming the go-to real estate expert in that market. Key aspects of real estate farming: geographical farming, and we talked about this, is a specific area that you're gonna market on a consistent basis. Demographic or niche farming, demographic could be, I don't wanna focus on demographic, I'm gonna focus on niche marketing because demographic, I think violates the fair housing laws, but I know that there's some agents that focus on a specific type of client based on the language. Maybe there's a language barrier, so they're trying to market to those particular people that don't speak English very well, and that could be why they're marketing to them. It has nothing to do with discrimination. That's where I would think the demographic side of it would go. But niche farming could be you could farm to police officers or firefighters or teachers or nurses, doctors, because these people have like a big network of friends and close people that are close to them, right? They're like police officers, they're like brothers. Firefighters are like brothers and sisters. And doctors and nurses, they have their own network of people they trust. Another thing is you can work with investors. That's another niche market, right? Retirees, you're doing Laguna Woods. You could farm to an area of retired homeowners. And then consistency is crucial. So make sure that you're consistent with your farming. You send something a couple times a month, not just once.
Brainwash.
Yes, and you do it. Don't quit after 1 or 2 months, because these homeowners have seen so many agents quit after 2 or 3 months. And right when they're thinking about using this agent, they just don't hear back from them anymore. Like, oh, they haven't sent anything to us. So I've seen some people take maybe like a year and a half before they sell their first home in that farm area. In the meantime, they might have sold a friend's house or helped someone lease a property, but in their farm area, it could take a year and a half, 2 years until you get your first sale. So as long as you're consistent and you just focus on that farm area, you'll get something. And let's see,
Unless a year,
I would do at least a year before you start reevaluating what you're doing. And what's the purpose of farming? Is to generate listings, leads, and referrals from a specific well-defined group. So in your farm area, right? Why use real estate farming for your business? builds brand recognition, your brand, right? You're using the Coldwell Banker brand, but you're building your own brand because you're the one that people are gonna talk to. You're the one that people are gonna deal with. You're the one that's putting out the marketing, so you wanna build your brand. Increases trust and reliability, right? So the more you're out there, the more you're answering questions, the more people see you. I would recommend that you walk your farm too, because you get to meet people in person and they get to see your personality. When you see someone just send something out on a flyer or postcard, it's just a 2D image. They don't see your personality, they don't see your knowledge, they don't get to experience your kindness, right? Like they would in person. So trust and credibility. Again, generate consistent leads and referrals. That'll do that for you. Because the more that you're in an area, the more people are gonna associate you with being the expert. So if they have a family member, they're gonna say, hey, that they know that's buying or selling. Hey, there's a realtor in my neighborhood, they're the expert, they're always sending out great information. You should reach out to them. So you'll get referrals and leads. It offers a long-term return of investment. So one thing that I keep hearing from people that farm an area, have farmed it for years, is that they have repeat business, right? They either have their clients from that neighborhood have sent their kids or their mother or their cousins or whatever it is, and they just keep getting more and more leads from that. So what's the goal? To become the expert in that market. So let's talk budgeting. I don't know how much thought you guys have put into your budgeting, but planning your budget. So you want to decide how much money you want to allocate for the first year, at least for the first year. So we're going to talk about 12 months. And you're going to have to calculate the printing and mailing costs for those 12 months, or printing and if you're going to walk your farm, only printing. Figure out the potential size of your farm. So this is all your planning for your farming, right? Based on your budget. And be consistent. You want to send something out at least twice a month. So here's example number one. This is if you're going to walk your farm. We're going to use the budget. I have $6,000 to spend for marketing for 1 year. And we're going to divide that by 12 months. So that gives me $500 a month to spend for marketing. But I'm sending out 2 marketing pieces a month. So I just split the 500 into 2. So now we have 250 2 times a month. So with me spending $250, if I'm going to print flyers, let's say we're just using numbers here. They're not concrete numbers, but 50 cents a flyer. That gives me, based on $250, 500 flyers that I can print out. So based on this, I can hit 500 homes if I walk the neighborhood twice a month. So there you go. So maybe I'd walk something January 1st, right? 500 homes. And then again, January 15th, I'd walk it again and hand out 500 flyers. I mean, sorry, yeah, 500 flyers. That's right. Does that make sense? Okay, this is just walking the area. Now, let's talk about every door direct mail. This is the one where they grab the flyer, put it in the mailbox, grab the flyer, right? The mail carrier does that. So we're gonna use the same budget, $250 for each flyer. And it's gonna cost us 40 cents to print out the postcard, plus let's say another 20 cents for the delivery of it. And this is just estimated, guys. It might be a little bit more, maybe 1 or 2 cents more. So it's gonna cost about 60 cents a piece to send out each flyer, printed and mailed. So we're gonna divide that by $250, and that gives us about 417 postcards, printed and delivered to the homes. So the farm size would have to be approximately 417 homes. So again, send out my first mailer on January 1st, and then another one January 15th, or 1st and 15th of each month. And again, it's gonna cost me $500, but this time it's less, and I don't have to walk the farm. Or you can do a combination of walk the farm once and then send a postcard on the 15th.
Which one is more effective?
I would do one of each. I don't know if there's one that's more effective, but I know the people that walk their farm, they tend to do better because they're out there meeting people. Right, and you get to talk to them, they get to see your knowledge and they get to see, you know, your personality.
Can you
And
do one? One for postcard, one for flyer
yeah, well,
per month,
yeah,
so.
yeah, you can do that, yeah, and it'll be cheaper.
It's the same price, right? I mean, if you
Well,
budget 500.
Yeah,
Just do-
but you're gonna spend, let's say you're gonna mail 500, you're mailing to 400 homes. But if you're gonna hit the same 400 homes, if you're gonna walk it, then it's cheaper than if you're buying 500 flyers,
Oh,
right? So it's a little bit cheaper. So you're saving 100 flyers, whatever the cost is on that. But the other thing is, this business is relationship based, right? And it's compatibility and trust. So people want to work with someone they're compatible with, someone they trust, and someone that they can get along with, right? You could be on a listing presentation with the seller, and they just had 3 other realtors come by and do their listing presentation. And one is just bringing the numbers and just not being very social and just boom, 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 here's the numbers. Okay, the next person, maybe they're just talking, and the homeowner's just sitting there like, oh God, they're not even listening to what I want. And then maybe the third one didn't know what they're doing at all. And then they sit down with you, right? They're sitting down with me and I'm talking to you, you're the homeowner. And I'm looking around, they showed me, took a tour of the property, you sit down, oh, is that your son over there? Oh, wow, that's a cute daughter, or cute son, whatever. Oh, they play sports, that's nice. And you can tell if the person is engaging, right? If they don't want to talk about that, they're gonna go back straight to the listing presentation. But they're gonna say, oh yeah, they're in college now, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, what college are they going to? And then, you start engaging, right? Let them talk. The more they talk, the more comfortable they're gonna be. The more comfortable they are, the more they're gonna wanna work with you, right? Because now you're listening to them.
When you're out farming, or you just drop it off the postcards or the flyers on doors, or we can be knocking on doors. or-
You can either leave it on the door or not have the door. It's up to you on how you engage, but what some of the agents do is they print out the flyer and they staple rubber bands to the corner, so they can put it on the doorknob.
I was told you cannot do the flyer postcard in there.
You cannot put it in their mailbox, that's a federal offense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the door is okay.
What I
Yes.
get in my mailbox is these little notepads from a real estate company.
That's illegal.
It is,
Yeah.
I always use the notepads.
It's probably not even the realtor doing it, they probably hired someone to drop off the notepads.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you can also do that, you can pay someone to deliver the flyers. I don't know what they charge, maybe 15 cents a piece to deliver, I don't know. But yeah, you can do that, but yeah, don't ever put anything in anybody's mailbox.
But doorknob is okay.
Yes, yeah, and then just so you know that you are gonna get some people, some homeowners, they're gonna call you or text you or email you, stop leaving trash in my door,
Oh, okay.
right? And then you wanna know what property it is, so, okay, but I apologize, what's your address? And so I'll know not to leave it there, so next time you go deliver flyers, you know not to deliver one there.
Yeah.
But you can mail one to them. Right, it's in their mailbox now, they can't do anything about it, they can say remove me from your list, but
Well, I have friend recently been scammed. I mean, as a realtor, how do you protect yourself, not get into the scam situation?
scam how?
Let's say they falsely present themselves that they wanted to buy a house or.
If you get a
Yeah,
text
it's-
message or an email
Text.
from someone
Yeah.
saying, oh, you can reach me on my WhatsApp. That's a scam, don't reply to it, don't do anything. Because that's one of the biggest scams that's going around right now.
Is it
Like, oh,
possible you can give a lessons as a realtor how to avoid scam?
if the person
I mean,
doesn't,
after
okay, let me,
personal
okay,
scam situation.
let me say this, if the person does not wanna talk on the phone, they don't have a local phone number, don't talk to them.
Okay,
If they don't wanna sign a representation agreement or give you their financials, because you need to have a pre-approval, if they don't wanna do a pre-approval, don't work with
they
them.
said they just wanted to see a house
No.
in. No,
They need to sign a representation agreement before you can show any houses, otherwise, if you show property without having the representation agreement signed, you could be fined $2,000.
Oh.
So you don't wanna be fined $2,000, right?
oh,
Or they're not gonna pay for it, so especially if they don't wanna sign a
so but
contract.
you have to have the
Before,
agreement.
yeah, before you
Is
show.
that like a new thing that the buyer has to sign?
Yeah,
It is
just
how-
beginning January
something-
1st, now it's
yeah.
California law as well. Yeah, just like the listing, just like the seller signs a listing agreement with an agent, the buyer has to sign a buyer representation agreement with an agent. Okay, so this is using EDDM. Now, the other example is bulk mail. So bulk mail, this is where you actually have the address of the homeowner on the postcard. And the price of this ends up being 78 cents for the printing and mailing, approximately, right? And so that brings us down to 321 postcards based on the $250 that we have to spend. So in this case, our farm size would be around 321 homes. So the more it costs to deliver, the less homes you're gonna hit, or the smaller your farm's gonna be. So you have to decide what's the best way to spend your money, right? All right, so selecting a farm. Well, you want to select a farm with moderate competition, something that doesn't have too much competition. If there's no other realtors marketing farming in that area, that's even better for you, right? Because you have no competition. High turnover rate, so how many homes are selling every year? So I would go back the last 2 years to see how many homes are selling in that area. If you had the higher the turnover ratio, the better it is to market. If nobody's selling there, maybe there was one home that sold last year and one that sold the year before, that means people they don't leave that neighborhood. They live there forever, they don't move, and once in a while, if there's like a life event that someone will move, but for the most part, it's not a good area to market, you're just gonna dump your money, right? So if there's no sales, I wouldn't market it.
What do you mean high turnover rate? What is the norm? I mean,
I think anything above 4% is pretty good,
4%.
yeah. Yeah, anything above 4%, I think should be pretty good.
Hey,
The higher-
Carlos.
Yes,
Hey, sorry, can you repeat that? What was that 4%?
turnover ratio for neighborhood,
Turnover ratio. Okay, got it.
yeah. I didn't know you guys were there, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Morning, Michael. Okay, so. Familiarity with or personal connection to the area, maybe it's a neighborhood you grew up in, or maybe it's the neighborhood where you live in, or maybe where your mom lives, and everybody knows you. That might be a place you want to market, especially if it's an area that you weren't known as a bad kid growing up, right? But maybe you just like the neighborhood, right? You know everything about the neighborhood, and that makes you an expert already, right? You've been to the neighbor's house because that's where your friend lived, and then that's where your other friend lived, and you know what the homes look like already. So, I mean, that could be a reason to farm a particular area. Opportunity for growth, maybe. What I always recommend to newer agents is to try to focus on a condo community, because those always turn over faster, right? And then, especially a condo community that's next to a neighborhood where there's single family homes that are just cost a little bit more, because they can move out of that neighborhood into the next neighborhood, right? So opportunity for growth. What neighborhoods are next to the area that you're farming? Can you grow from that?
Okay, where I live in Tustin. And it's kind of a weird place, like where they're building these brand new condos, are not complete that yet. It's across the street from a high school and stuff. But I kind of have my eye on those. I don't know if I need to wait until they complete everything, or can I call the developer and maybe get on some kind of list or something, or. But
Well-
they're building quite a few of them.
So the builder's not gonna give you the information, you have to get it from the title company, if they're complete, but if they're not
Yeah, they're
complete,
not
they
complete.
don't have the owner's information yet.
So I would have to wait until.
Right. Yeah. Because what happens is with some of these new homes, people buy them in phase one, and they buy it for cheaper, so that there's, I think, 4 phases. If I'm correct, and each phase, they raise the price a little bit more. So the people that bought in phase one sometimes sell after completion, and it's already they're already making money on it. So in situations like that you could do that. Or maybe they want to lease the properties out, and you can represent them on that. So let's see, let's move on here. Research, other things to consider when researching a farm. We talked about, do you live or know someone in the area? Research the number of homes. So if we already know how much your budget can cover. Now you have to match a neighborhood to that budget, or if there's a particular neighborhood you like, decide what streets you want to cover based on that. So if I can cover 400 homes, but the neighborhood is 500 homes, I have to decide which streets I want to market to, right? Research owner occupied versus absentee. So this is something that we talked about where you want to know the area, right? You're an expert in the area, you should know this. You should know how many of the homes are rentals versus owner occupied. And knowing this will give you, I guess, an insight into how you should be marketing to them. You can market to the homeowners that live in the property one way. Hey, this is the market update. This is how much your home is worth, blah, 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 blah. But then you can mail separate marketing pieces directly to the non-owner occupiers, the ones that are renting out the properties, and market to them as investors. Hey, are you thinking of buying another investment property? Oh, do you need someone to represent you to lease the property when your tenants move out? There's different ways you can market to them. So that's why it's important to know if they're owner occupied versus absentee owners. Turnover ratio, we talked about that, or home selling. Market share amongst other agents. So now that you selected a farm, or maybe a couple areas that you narrowed it down to, I would go into the MLS to look to see, well, you've already looked to see how many homes sold the previous year and the year before that. Take it one step further and look to see who the agents are that sold those homes, that listed those homes. If you see out of 20 homes that sold last year, there's like 15 different agents, 16 different agents, there's nobody dominating that neighborhood. So maybe it's an opening for you to go in and now you're going to become the dominating agent, right? The dominant agent or the farming agent, the expert in the area. But if you see that out of 20 homes that sold, one agent sold like 9 or 10 of them, and then the rest of them, maybe there's 2 or 3 other agents, you know that agent's probably farming that neighborhood and everybody knows who that agent is. That's who they end up listing with. And then you have to decide, do I want to go against someone that's experienced like that? Some people try to take it on, and some people say, no, I want to avoid that. If it was me, I'm new, I'm not gonna go up against an agent that's been there for years. They've already built a relationship. Unless that agent is coming to an age where they're gonna leave the industry. We talked about the dominant agent. So title companies are a great resource to get some of this information. You can get the turnover ratios. You guys can reach out to Mary and tell her which neighborhoods that you narrowed it down to and ask her for a snapshot of those neighborhoods. She'll tell you the turnover ratios. She'll tell you if there's a dominant agent there.
Who do we reach out to?
Mary with Lawyer's Title. Yeah. Excel spreadsheet, they can give you an Excel spreadsheet of all the owners' names for that farm area. And you can even ask her to separate it to owner occupied on one list and absentees on a separate list. Or owner investors on a separate list. So that way you can market to them differently. And it has their mailing address on there. They can give you printed labels of the farm if you want to slap some labels on a postcard and throw a stamp on there. Again, owner occupied versus absentees. Specialty farm lookups, maybe you only want to, you like the neighborhood, but you only want to market to condos or single family residents or multifamily. Or you can ask her to send you a list of homeowners that have owned for 20 years or more, and that's who you want to market to. So there's different ways of getting this data, right? Yeah, let's move on to the next slide here. Give me a second. So research again, know the market, know the trends, and know the community. That's important, right? To be an expert in the neighborhood. Research recent sales. We mentioned that before. Anything that's active on the market, you want to preview these homes. You as an agent can schedule a showing to go preview a home. So you look in the MLS. If there's another agent that listed it, you follow the showing instructions, or if they say, you know, contact the listing agent for showing, say, hey, I'd like to show the property on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Cool. They're not gonna say, oh, do you have a buyer, or, oh, whatever. It's just, or you can say, I'd like to preview the property, whatever it is. Once you have permission, then you can go see the property at that particular time.
Is there a regular agent preview for Irvine area?
It's on Wednesdays, but not every agent does a broker's preview on Wednesday.
Oh,
So not every
Is
listing's
there
gonna have it.
this not the preview houses?
You could do a search on the MLS, just like you do a
Okay.
search for properties, you do a search for open houses
Oh, okay,
for a particular day,
But
and then
not-
a specific city.
but not for the preview for the agent,
Yeah, that's a
Only-
broker's preview.
but not the open house. Open house is. for
So,
everyone.
when you do the search, it's gonna be an open house search.
Right.
But when you look for the open house search, through the open house search, you can click on brokers
Oh,
or public.
oh,
So
okay.
if it's for
Got it.
brokers, then you know it's gonna be a broker
Oh,
preview. But just look for, just select that search and then just select the date and then the city, and then it'll show you on Wednesdays, it's not really an open house, it's really a
Under the
broker's
open
previews.
house for broker.
We can just go to an open house ourselves.
You can go to notice, but because you're a realtor, you can just access the property. So whether they have a broker's preview or not, or an open house or not, you can schedule a showing, go see the property. And why is this important? Because you're the expert in the area, you should know what that house looks like, right? If you have a potential listing coming up, you're sitting down with the seller, potential seller, and then maybe it's a similar model to the one that's on the market now, but you, guess what? You can tell them, hey, that property has everything upgraded. You don't have any upgrades, or vice versa. Everything is original in that property. We could probably get a little bit more for your property because it looks nicer or whatever it is, because you have knowledge, because you've been there. It's not just because you looked at the pictures in the MLS. The pictures in the MLS, they're deceptive. They get doctored up, they get edited, you have a fully beautifully manicured lawn on the MLS, but when you show up, it's all dirt. You're like, what happened to the grass? Right?
No, I meant preview for broker is not on the MLS. They usually, let's say they put it on the MLS today, but it take a couple days to get active. So during this time,
You
they allow
cannot
agents-
preview the property if it's incoming soon.
Oh,
It has to be
okay.
active to preview the property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is there a list of coming soon?
Yeah, but you can't see the property until it's active. Yeah, so,
So coming soon, we cannot see it.
no,
I was gonna go to a couple open houses this weekend just because I've never done it before.
yeah, yes,
Okay.
yeah, walk in, leave your business card. Oh, you don't have a business card yet? Okay, yeah.
But I are gonna meet after this.
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna research the MLS for any active listings. You're also gonna research, so floor plan information, tract information, things like that, the different models in the tract. Research the community. So what are the HOA amenities? What are the HOA fees? What are the local schools? So when buyers come in, you have an open house, they're asking you, hey, what's the local elementary school? You know what that is, or the high school, whatever. Know where the hospitals are, shopping centers, things like that. So I talked about floor plans. There's a website called insidetract.com that has most of the floor plans for Orange County, but you have to pay for it, subscription based. And I think it's like you buy so many tokens, so each token will allow you to log in and download information on a particular tract. And if you're going to purchase a subscription, make sure that whatever farm you end up deciding on, when you use that token to download the information from that tract, download all the floor plans while you're in there for that.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't know if you have to use another token to go back in, but maybe not. But I would download all that information. They're PDFs of every floor plan, which would look something like that. It'll tell you the model name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and the tract name. It'll give you a tract map. So it'll show you all the streets in the tract, what the street names are, how many homes are in the tract.
You can't get that information from public records, can you?
No, you can get a plat map
You
from
get a
the
plat map,
public
yeah.
records, yeah. But this also includes a plat map, I believe. Yeah. But this is a pretty good resource because now you know the different models. So if somebody calls you and says, yeah, I wonder what my home's worth, and you ask them, how many, what model do you have? They don't know. It's the 3-bedroom, 2. Oh, that's the so-and-so model. And then you'd be like, oh, wow. And you can
That's
see,
a
yeah,
great resource. Thank you, Carlos.
yeah, you could say, you're welcome. You could say, oh, is yours the one that has the bedroom downstairs, the 4th bedroom downstairs, or is it the one that has the extra bedroom upstairs? And they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, it's the one with the bedroom downstairs. Okay, cool. And now you know which one they're talking about. They're gonna be like, wow, this person really knows their stuff. Because my neighbor has the bedroom upstairs and I have the one downstairs. So it just makes you sound more knowledgeable, and you're claiming to be the expert, right? This is what's gonna make you an expert. Knowing, the floor plans, knowing the community information, knowing the recent sales, active listings, anything that's in escrow. So now that you know all this information, now you're an expert and you're gonna go out there and kill it, right? What am I gonna send out? Well, there's a lot of things you can send out, and when it's time to send it out, I think people just, their minds go blank. But we'll go over some of the things you can send out. First thing I will send out every month is a market update. This is like a must, right? The market update will consist of any properties that sold the previous month. You can only advertise sold listings, sold information.
Mhm.
And what you usually add is the property address, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and then sold price. Some people add days on market or sold date, you can do that too. There's a disclaimer you have to add at the bottom of the postcard or flyer saying, I'll show it to you guys at the end, that information that's being provided was accessed from CRMLS from this date to this date, so you have to give it a range. So from June 1st to June 30th, 2025. And the agent sharing the information may or may not have been the listing and or selling agent. So I'm not saying I listed them or that I sold them, I'm just providing the information. So you're kind of saying, hey, I'm not saying that I sold them, I'm not lying to you guys. And if you did want to add anything that's available for sale, that's not your listing or our company's listing, you have to include the broker's name and the agent's name. And that, I don't know why you would do that, you're advertising for that other agent, right? But you can, that's an option. So market updates, but why is this important? Because it gives them important information, right? Because they might have the same model. And now they know, oh, my home's worth this much now, wow, that's pretty cool. Or 2 bedrooms are selling for that much, wow, maybe, or 4 bedrooms, oh, wow, maybe it's a good time for us to move up or move down or whatever it is. Just listed, so you can send out a just listed postcard or flyer for a new listing that you have, or if you don't have any listings, maybe you can ask one of the agents in our office if you can advertise one of their listings in your market area. They're not gonna say no, because they're hoping that it's more publicity, more advertising for them, right? And you might bring a buyer for them. But the listings belong to the brokerage. So you're not saying I listed, we just listed, Coldwell Banker just listed this property. You can also send out a just sold. If someone in the office just sold a property, either in that neighborhood or adjacent neighborhood, whatever it is, you can promote that as well.
Yeah, but that is leading to the people, if you just sold, they perceptually used sold it,
But you're not saying I just sold, you're saying Coldwell Banker just sold.
or just.
Yeah.
Just sold.
Yeah. You can do an open house announcement. Send out newsletters. Newsletters can contain real estate related information. Don't get caught up in the, there's companies out there that you can pay that'll send out newsletters for you that hardly have any real estate information. They have cookie recipes or gardening tips and things like that. And it's like, and they focus more on things like that, but you don't want to be known for the gardening tip lady or the cooking tips guy. I want to be known as the realtor professional that sends out professional information. If you want, you can have like a little corner and designate, hey, this is the recipe for the month or whatever. Like designate a little spot for it. But you want the majority of your content to be real estate related. Whether it's something that's a new tax law that came out for homeowners, or I don't know, something that's going to affect home warranties on their homes, or information on, like what, you'll see one here, why do you need an inspector for a property when you purchase a property? Or what does an appraiser do, things like that, that's information that someone, the homeowner wouldn't wanna know, right? So you can send out, I have a buyer, so this is one of those things that a lot of realtors send out. Where they're lying and they don't have a buyer, they're fishing for a potential seller, and I wouldn't send this out, but this is just me. But there's agents that send this out and say, yeah, I have a buyer that wants to buy your home. They don't know what your home is, just like they're sending it to 500 or 1,000 people. And it's like, well, whose home? My home? His home? Her home? Like whose home? Who in particular? They wanna buy all our houses? And then what they do is when a homeowner sees this, they're like, oh, let me call them because I'm thinking about selling. And then the agent says, oh, yeah, so how many bedrooms, baths do you have? Oh, it's a 3-bedroom. Oh, you know what? The buyer's looking for a 4-bedroom must let. You're thinking about selling? Hey, let's talk about you. And then they get into that, and you know what? Sometimes they're successful with it. But it's deceptive, and I don't think that's cool. It's like a bait and switch type of thing. But if you do have a buyer that's looking in that neighborhood, maybe someone calls you up because they know you're the area expert. And they say, hey, I want to buy in this neighborhood. You can send out a flyer saying, hey, I have a buyer. Make sure they're pre-approved and you already know what they're looking for. They're moving into the area. They really want to go they want their kids to attend the local school, blah, blah, blah. And please let me know if you're interested. Now you're making your buyer look like it's a real person, right? Now, or a real family or real, whatever it is. It's a real customer. So it's not just, I have a buyer, just, leave it out there for you to imagine who the buyer is, what if they're even pre-approved. But at least you're making your buyer look real. You could do contests or drawings. This is a good way to start accumulating email addresses and phone numbers for people. And guess what you can do with those email addresses? You can send out email marketing to them for free. So now you're sending out 2 mailing pieces to them in their in their mailbox or their front door. Now you're also going to be in their email when they check their email. That's pretty cool. And then later on, we'll talk about social media. Then you can also send a geographical ad targeting that zip code. And guess what? Now you're in the social media feed. They can be like, God damn, this person, sorry, that person is everywhere. Oh my God. And then they won't be able to get you out of their mind, right? They're going to be dreaming about you. Let me go back to the contest drawing. So the contest and drawing is pretty much, you can do like a Starbucks gift card for the first, 5 people or whatever that reply. It's a $25 gift card to Starbucks. First 5 people that reply, or $100 gift card for Thanksgiving dinner for November, whatever it is, right? And then send your entries to this email here, whatever. But guess what? You're collecting information. Their email address or phone number, what address they live in. So now you can add that to your database. And yeah, that's good for you, for your business. Holiday greetings, so on your flyers or postcards, even though you're sending out real estate related things, don't forget to add some of that personal touch of like, hey, happy holidays or Merry Christmas or, happy Thanksgiving, and, things like that, all the warm greetings. You can send out a self-promoting flyer. And what's a self-promoting flyer? I just sold this, I just listed that, I just got an award in my office, or I just, I work with sellers, I work with buyers. Are you an investor? I can help you purchase more properties. Are you a landlord? I can help lease your property out. Are you a tenant? I can help you find a property. So these are all the things that you do, right? You're not just limited to, I'm gonna sell your house. You can send out community information, maybe, and I think I have it on here too, somewhere, a directory. You can send out community information of like, that includes the phone numbers to the HOA, phone numbers to local, and I would put this under directory as well. Local police department's phone number, fire department's phone number, poison control. Any numbers you think are important to them at the bottom of the list, then you're gonna say your neighborhood real estate expert, and then your name and phone number. They're not gonna throw that away. And you can even go one step further and make it order a magnet.
Yeah.
They're gonna put that in the fridge,
Yeah.
and they're gonna look at your face every time they open the fridge, right? Because they're not gonna throw that list away. Offer something of value like a CMA or a net sheet. Hey, on your flyer, I'm thinking about selling, give me a call. I'll give you I'll set up a CMA for you for free. We can discuss it, no obligation, call me up. Or a net sheet. Would you like to know how much money you'd make on the sale of your home after paying off your loan? You can offer a class, maybe an investment class or a class on trust, maybe bring an attorney out to help you with that. You can set up scheduled garage sales. Holden here in the office, he puts together 2 garage sales a year in his farm areas. He organizes them. He advertises them. He ends up getting the neighborhood, emails him to let them know who's gonna participate. And he even creates a map of all the homes in the tract, using the tract map from Inside Tract. Places the pins on every home that's participating, so he leaves them at each entrance of the neighborhood. So when someone drives by, they can pick up the flyer and they know exactly where to go as far as who's participating in the garage sale. So what this does is it helps people, right? Because they're getting rid of the crap. And you're promoting, you're advertising, you're bringing buyers into the neighborhood. But what you can do, what he does is he takes advantage of this and he stops by every garage sale, introduces himself, gives them a little goodie bag of pastries or something. Hey, thanks for participating. And if you ever have any real estate needs, you can reach out to me. And they're gonna be grateful that he put that together. And he always gets calls and emails, hey, thank you for doing that. It was great. I got rid of all my stuff. Personal greeting cards. If you met someone during your farming walk, right, when you're delivering flyers, you had a great conversation with someone, and so they told you, hey, I'm so happy, I'm going to my son's graduation, my daughter's graduation, and oh well, whatever. I'd send out a greeting card. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you today or the other day, and congratulations on your kid's graduation, whatever it is. These little things that people don't do anymore that go a long way. Anytime I still feel this way. When I receive a card, someone took the time to buy that card or pay for it, whatever it is, right? Write in it, personal message, put it in the mailbox and send it out. That means something, right? And it's not just like, hey, I'm gonna add you to the list and send you a flyer I'm sending to everybody else. This actually means something. So I think that still goes a long way. Sports schedules. People keep these for 3 or 4 months, however long the season is for that sport. Football's a good one, baseball's a good one. And you can do like whatever the local team is. So for baseball, you can do the Angels or Dodgers. People are gonna keep that. You can even do one of those magnets again, put it on the fridge. Football schedule, maybe Monday night football games or the entire schedule.
How much for the magnets? Put on
There's different websites you can go to. You have to go.
roughly.
I don't know. That's research.
Oh, okay.
There's that word, research.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a website you can go to gotprint.com or vistaprint.com. I think they have things like that, like magnets that you can. Yeah, they might even have the schedules already done and you just order with your custom information on there. Something else you can send out is daylight savings time. It happens twice a year, so that might be something you can send out. A letter to investor owners. That's something you can send out. Hey, are you thinking about purchasing or selling your investment property? This is how much the recent property sold for. Any questions on any of this?
How did you find the investors on?
Do you remember when we talked about the title company can give you information on who lives in the property, who doesn't live in the property? So what they do is they pull up the tax records for the whole neighborhood that you want to farm.
Mhm.
And then it tells you what the site address is, the property address, and then what the mailing address is. If the mailing address is different from the site address, that means they don't live in the property, that means they're investors.
Oh,
If their mailing address is the same as their property address, that means they live there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any questions on this? Anybody at home? Nope. Right, so there's always something to send out, yeah,
I just said thank you.
okay. And this is an example, so if you're gonna start marketing or farming, I would put together a calendar like this. And all the red everything in the red is the mailers that I'm gonna send out or when I'm gonna walk my farm. But you wanna schedule it for the whole year, so that way you know when you have to do it and it's in your calendar, so you have to do it. You don't wanna forget, get caught up in whatever you're doing, just be like, oh, I forgot to send my flyers last week, I was supposed to do it last week. So if you put it in your calendar, hopefully you're one of those people that it has to be done. And then the rest of the month, you can insert like what you're gonna do on social media, what type of posts you're gonna post. And you can even schedule these a month in advance. Look up information on these topics, chat GPT or different articles, put together your posts, and then schedule everything for a month. That's 4 posts that are scheduled for the month right there. Could take 20 minutes, whatever it is, right? Just schedule them and then you're done. Right, and then I think you can only do 1 month at a time, ahead of time on Facebook and Instagram. But at least you can do all that in one shot. Just listed, just sold, here's an example of a just listed. Just sold flyer, one's a postcard, one's a flyer. Market update, Shweta, she does the whole neighborhood. She does it, sales on one side and then leases on the other side, or what lease in the neighborhood, sometimes she'll do one or the other. Along with, on the other side, she'll,
Can I walk up there?
yeah. She'll add some active listings or properties she sold, things like that.
Do you keep your slides somewhere so we can review later or,
That's another recording of it.
okay.
Yeah.
About the slides?
No, but,
No slides.
yeah, anything in particular that you,
Yeah, this one I want you to have a copy of.
I can send you a copy of that flyer. And then like, this is what Holden does, he sends out a postcard, and he does, in his farm areas, he promotes his listed or sold properties up on top.
Mhm.
And then in the middle section is where he puts in his, the recently sold properties or the properties sold the previous month,
Yes, that's good.
and then his contact information at the bottom. And you see the disclaimer above his name there, really small letters?
You mean this one?
Yeah. So you have to include that when you're sending out a market update.
Can you send?
And she has it on the other, actually, it's on the bottom of her flyer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Even though it's all of his stuff, he has that disclaimer on.
Well, not the sold list, not the sold properties, not the ones on the list.
Oh,
He might have
okay,
sold one of those, but he didn't sell both of them,
Okay, got it.
or maybe he didn't sell any of those. But what he's listing on the top, he doesn't need the disclosure for that.
Can you send this to,
Yeah.
everywhere?
And this is like a fallback flyer, hey, remember to, turn back your clocks or put them forward. And then on the bottom of this flyer, something like, also, don't forget to change the batteries in your smoke alarms. So like, multiple reminders there. Newsletter, the importance of a home inspection. Other informational, maybe new laws, local directory, we talked about that. Floor plan information, services you provide, we talked about that. Mortgage rates, maybe historical rates and how the rates are going up or down, and do like that little article on that. And then like, this is a flyer we got from Title Investing Descriptions, where most people don't know how to invest their properties as you're either gonna do community property, tenants in common. There's a bunch of different types of ownerships there. But it gives information what the difference is between each one. These are just examples.
Are we gonna have access to this, like? Is this information just the meeting or will? we be
Yeah, this is-
reading
this is-
on
these are
things
just-
Later?
No, this is just, well, I'm gonna send out the recording. But this is just examples of what you can send out, right? So if you ever have any questions, if you want that particular flyer, you can ask Mary to send you the flyer for investing.
Oh,
And it has all the different vesting descriptions on there. Contest and garage sales. So this is a garage sale flyer that Holden does. I don't think anybody mails it in anymore, they just email him their entry, but. And then his contest, his drawing. And what's he giving away here? A gift bag, Valentine's Day gift basket.
what do you mean capture email addresses?
When somebody wants to enter the drawing so they can win,
Oh, you capture, okay, I got it.
or if somebody emails you for the garage sale that they want to participate, now you know their email and then, So create your brand, your own brand. Your people are already familiar with the Coldwell Banker brand, but you want to develop your own brand personality. And you want to be known for something, right? And you could use specific colors. The example I give is like, if you make pink flyers, and you're always handing out pink flyers with your contact information, all the real estate information. Eventually, homeowners are gonna know when they see that pink flyer, oh, Alice left another flyer on my door, they're gonna know it's you, because you just created that. Even the simplest thing, like a color, could be a brand that you're associated with, right? Or your brand. Agent logo, some people created a logo, like this is Mike Dunn's logo that he uses. He incorporates that into his flyers. You could use a tagline. We have an agent, Sylvia Jonathan. She uses Sylvia Jonathan, the real estate matchmaker. And that's her tagline, right? Specific type of template, maybe a certain look on the flyer. You want to show consistency with your flyers. If you keep changing it, it looks like you're unstable. You keep changing the look every time you send out a flyer. It's not a good look. So you want to keep consistent with everything. Niche markets, so maybe you're the agent that works with military. So one of our loan officers, John Sheehan, he works with veterans or with military people, right? And he works with VA loans. So he's got that niche down where he's got, he's knowledgeable about VA loans, and he knows about certain things about the military and things like that. So people kind of know him as the VA guy, right, or military. Or maybe, again, you create your brand and you work with doctors, so all the doctors call you. Like, usually you have to call your doctor, right, for the checkup, doctors call you. I don't know, maybe you could do something with that. Personality, maybe you're a luxury agent, so people associate with you with selling expensive homes or beachfront properties, things like that. So you're creating a little brand for yourself there. Community involvement, sponsor a community event, school event, or fundraiser. This is a good way to get in front of homeowners if you care about their children, right? So like if the local school calls you up and says, hey, would you like to pay for an ad in our local whatever school program or whatever it is? Yeah, sure. Because guess what? It's going to go home to the parents. Parents are going to say, oh, hey, there's this realtors in my kid's school now too. They're in my mailbox, they're in my email, they're in my social media, now they're in my kid's school. What's going on here? And you're in their dreams, okay?
But do we do community service within our company, our offices?
The agents do it on their own
Okay.
because everyone has their own community. So we're not associated with one particular community. Yeah, everyone, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself, right? Because we're here to support you and use the Coldwell Banker brand. So, yeah. Advertise on local high school sports programs. You hear about things like that. There's some schools that will allow you to put like a banner with your information on their baseball fields, and they ask you for $500 for the season or $1,000 for the season. But guess what? When cars drive by, they see your banner, right? We talked about a garage sale, you can coordinate that. We talked about classes. You can host a real estate class or seminar. Host or organize a blood drive. We have an agent that used to do 2 blood drives a year. He would organize it, and people would come by and donate blood, and it's a nice thing. It's a good thing he was associated with, right? Holidays, something that agents used to do that I haven't seen in a while is during Easter, hire an Easter bunny for the local park, advertise it to the neighborhood, say, hey, bring your kids by, we're gonna have an Easter egg hunt, we have the bunny showing up, and then they get to take pictures of the Easter bunny and things like that, and the parents are so happy after. I mean, I don't know if they're as excited now, because a lot of people get offended by everything now. But yeah, I know that they loved it because they didn't have to go anywhere else. It's in their own community. And also Santa Claus for Christmas. They go to the mall and take pictures with Santa. But guess what? Santa's at the park in your neighborhood. Come by, take a picture with Santa, get a candy cane, and you set it all up. So they're going to be so happy that you did that for them. It's kind of creepy. So the 3 C's of real estate marketing. First one is content. So you want to inform them, educate them, and update them. real estate information, right? The next C is call to action. Give them a reason to call. And we talked about that. One of the reasons could be contact me for a free valuation of your property. So contact me for a free CMA. Or would you like to know how much you would net at this sale or, sell your home? Call me, email me, text me, whatever. And the last one is consistency. Be consistent, stay in their face, twice a month, social media, email marketing, in their dreams. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I think eventually they're gonna be like, oh my God, this person, I can't get them out of my head. That's how you know you made it, right? So, email marketing, now that we talked about print marketing and farming your area, which I think is very important. Now we're gonna talk about email marketing, and we're just gonna touch on it, So, Gold Banker provides different tools for you to be able to do that. You can use Moxie Engage, Moxie Impress, Prospect Square, and then you can use other services like MailChimp or Constant Contact. Those are also free, but up to a certain amount of contacts. The tools that we provide for you have templates already set up for you to send out.
They're in that desk.
And CV desk, yes.
Yeah, that came in to me yesterday.
Okay.
They did us a favor.
And what do you send out? You can send out a monthly newsletter, just sold open house, e-card, birthday for birthdays, holidays, special occasions. You send out a list of events going on that month in the city or the area or in Orange County. Interest rate or market updates. So pretty much all the things you can send out on your print marketing, you can do the same thing for email marketing.
Can you just briefly on the Moxie Engage and the Moxie Impress? What's one sentence, what's this about?
They are,
Engage and
they're CRMs.
the CRM.
Yeah, CRMs. They're, so you can send, there's email campaigns, drip campaigns set up in there that you can send out. And we talked about what drip campaigns are. Were you here when we talked about it? It's a series of emails
Oh, okay.
where once you send someone out, it sends out the first one, 7 days later, it sends out the next one and so forth, right? Or you can send out a individual, a singular email to go out and that's it, right? But it's branded, it's set up automatically. All you have to do is upload your contacts to it.
Do we need to pay for it?
Not the ones that we provide.
Oh,
So a drip campaign, with the drip campaign, you set it and forget it. Prospect Square, there's drip campaigns through that. There's home security tips, energy saving tips, a seller campaign, a buyer campaign. There's the holiday campaigns as well. I'm not sure if it shows up on here. But there's a holiday campaign too that Moxie Engage does the same thing. The cool thing about the holiday one is, and I always bring this up, is that I set it up and there's like a holiday almost every month, and it's automatically, once you add your contacts to it, it sends out that email for every holiday throughout the year. And once in a while I'll get an email, hey, Merry Christmas to you too, and I'm like, I didn't email this person, like, what's going on here? And then I had to remember, oh, I have the drip campaign set up, I did email them, I just forgot, right? So that's why it's set it and forget it, right? You forget. But the cool thing about these campaigns is that you're in their face, right? You forget to reach out to people, but guess what? You didn't forget because you set it up to email for you. Social media. So website is social media. So remember you get a free website through Global Banker. Make sure you take advantage of that. Add content, add a bio to your profile page. So don't leave it blank. You want to write something about yourself that is going to differentiate you from everybody else, right? Some of the agents don't have any bio set up on there, so you don't know anything about them, but maybe someone will call you for what you write in your bio.
Okay, if we have the Coldwell Banker website, your website, can we update like our own personal Facebook with Coldwell Banker as well or no?
Yeah, you can create a business page on Facebook. Yeah, you're gonna have your personal page and then you create a business page. And you can sit down with schedule time with Cecilia and she can help you set all that up. So personalized domain name, that's something you might want to use because the domain name you get through, I don't know if you guys know what domain name is. The domain name is www.whatever.com. That's a domain name. So you can purchase a personalized one. So it could be www.carlosrealtor.com or carlosisthebestagent.com, right? And then once I buy that name, I can set it to redirect to my Google Maker website. So anybody.
I just purchased it.
Okay, perfect. So anytime anyone types in www.carlosisthebestagent.com, it takes them to my website. So that's pretty cool. Use an updated recent photo on all digital platforms. Make sure you don't use a picture from 20 years ago because that's what agents are notorious for. And even my picture, I don't know, people say like, oh, you look different from that picture. I think I look the same.
No, I saw your picture, you with this.
So yeah, but using them because back in the day, people used glamour shots.
Mhm.
And then like they'd walk up, buyers would walk up or sellers would walk up to meet with the agent and they're like looking around. Hi, I'm so-and-so agent. They're like, oh, okay, you just look so much different in person. So make sure that you look like what you look like online.
I had a coworker that I worked with, a paralegal. And she got on a dating site and did that. She used a picture when she was really young. And the guy met her.
So walk right out. Yeah.
Walked right out.
So I would also add a video profile, just introducing yourself. Hi, my name is Carlos Rodriguez. I work with buyers and sellers in Orange County. Contact me for all your real estate needs. Sweet, short, to the point, and they got to see what I sound like, my personality, and maybe they see my picture and they think that guy looks like a jerk. I wouldn't call that guy. He just looks like he's a mean person or something. But when they hear me talk and they see like my personality, my manners, maybe they won't think that, right? So I think that adds another dimension to who you are. Use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter to broadcast your new listings, just sold, awards, tips, whatever you want to send out, whatever you want to post. Moxie creates a property website for each one of your listings, so that's something you can use for when it creates the property website for your listing. You can copy the URL for that or the domain, paste it on your Facebook or whatever, and then promote your listing that way. You can contact our social media specialist Cecilia to help you set all this stuff up if you have any questions. It'll show up here again. So remember with social media, you want to promote the town, not just the house. So if you're going to promote a listing, don't just say, oh, look at this wonderful house. You can talk about the community. Shopping is like two-minute drive from here, and the pool is right around the corner, and the school is like 2 blocks down. Talk about the area or the city if you want to pull in people from other cities or counties. Be yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Just be yourself. Educate the buyers. Respond to comments, good or bad. If somebody has something bad to say, say, hey, I'm sorry that you feel that way. That wasn't my intention, or whatever it is. If you have good comments, say, hey, thank you very much for saying that, whatever it is, but respond to them because when you interact with people, it's a good thing on social media. Don't forget video. Make sure to add video to your social media posts. Never assume that you're only connecting with first-time buyers. So unless that's what your intent is to only work with first-time buyers, then be my guest, go ahead and do so. But remember, there's people that are experienced agents, so you don't only have to talk to them like they're new agents, right? So yeah, let's move on. Don't ignore your existing clients. So if your clients follow you, follow them back. Comment on their posts or whatever it is on their stories. Hey, congratulations, or oh, that looks fun, or whatever, right? So interact. And again, there's Cecilia's phone number. And she'll give you a way better breakdown of social media than I would. You got it? Okay. Generating leads. You can use Cloud CMA. There's a home price valuation landing page that's provided for free. Well, I mean, you're paying for it with your fees. And this is what it looks like. And this is pretty cool because once you sign up for Cloud CMA through the MLS, you get access to this. And what this is a landing page for home valuation. So if you post this somewhere, like let's say I copy the URL for this, I paste it into Facebook and say, if you'd like to know how much your property's worth, click on this link. It's gonna ask them to enter the property address right there, which says, where's my home worth? What's my home worth? And then it'll ask them, what's your email address, where can we send the report to, and what's your name? And if you wanna make them enter their phone number, you can make them do that too.
Okay, we pay for this.
This is included in your fees. that you
It's
pay, yeah. And what happens is the system automatically sends they call it a quick and dirty CMA based on, again, the algorithms and the whatever. So they're gonna receive an email, I think within a couple minutes with the CMA of how much their home's worth. But it also sends you an email and says, hey, Joanna, this person that lives on this property just inquired about a CMA. So then what you can do is you can go on the MLS, pull up real comps, create a better, more precise CMA, and then reach out to that person. Say, hey, we sent you a quick and dirty CMA. I wouldn't say quick and dirty, that's just what they call it, but the system generated a not so accurate CMA, but I took the time to actually, look into your home, look into the real comps and have a nice CMA set up for you. Would you like to meet? Or you can just leave it on the doorstep or, whatever it is. And then the other one for lead generation is Corfact. Corfact is a website that already has templates of flyers set up. You're gonna upload your database.
Is it inside the MLS?
No, this one is called corfact.com. It's a separate third-party website. Yeah. So you can upload your, I'll show you guys what it looks like after. You can upload your database and then the downside is that it's $1 a postcard to print and mail, but it has a lot of things associated with it. I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end here. But we're gonna move on. So paid leads. You can do pay for paid leads through Zillow, Truly, or Realtor.com. And you'd have to call these companies directly if you want pricing and details on them. The cool thing about Zillow, I don't know if Realtor.com does this or not, maybe they do. But I know that they give you like a coach that's dedicated to teaching you how to work the leads that they send you. So you're paying all this money for it, right? And even though you're paying, I think you pay for zip code. So let's say we want that, I don't know. So let's say you want 92606, that's here where we are. There's probably there's no market share left for it, right? Because they already sold. And before it's a little confusing. That's why I don't like to talk about it too, because there's only 100% market share, right? And so someone can buy 90% of that and pay so much money, and there's 10% market share left. So you can either pay for 10% of that or 5% or whatever it is, right? And then each percentage guarantees you so many leads. But now they have up to 200% market share. And then someone pays for 5 leads a month, and then someone else pays to receive 1 lead a month. It's confusing, but anyway.
So they are separate. If you pay 10%, if you, this part of 10%, then another person can 90%, they
They get more
another
leads.
90%.
Yeah,
So
so
there's no overlap.
no,
Oh,
2 people won't get the same lead.
oh, okay.
So let's say one zip code generates, let's say 100 leads a month. Let's just say, for example, it's not, I don't know how many leads come in. Let's say 100 leads per month. So they split the leads based on how much you're paying for. If you're paying for 90% of the market share, you're gonna get 90% of the leads. I don't know how that works, but you're guaranteed so many leads based on how much money you're paying. So there might be some areas where they don't have any market share available, so you can't get into that unless someone drops out. And then they'll call you and say, hey, would you like to take this person's spot or the market share? And then you pay so much money, they send you leads. But like I was saying, the cool thing about it is that they teach you how to talk to the leads, how to how to screen them or what to say to them and just, yeah, so it's pretty cool.
That was through Zillow.
Through Zillow, yeah. They assign, I don't know if it's an agent to you or not a realtor, but their customer service or representative, they assign a representative to you.
So you just call 0 as the phone number for 0?
You have to go to Zillow.com and then I don't know, there's probably Um, Go to Zillow,
Okay.
yeah, but don't log in because you're gonna log in as a buyer or seller. It's a login as an agent, or there's a section for agents.
Mhm.
And then if you wanna buy leads, click here, here's information.
Do you know anyone in the office who's done it?
Yeah, Karam has done it before, and I think he might still do it. And I think Giselle also did it or still does it, I'm not sure.
Have they said how effective it is?
Karam actually has sat here and did a class, not a class, but just talked about his experience with using Zillow.
Can we ask him to give another class again?
Or you could sit down and talk to him, he's always here in the office. Yeah, that'd probably be better, that way you can ask all the questions you want, and if he's got time, yeah. Common mistakes to avoid. Choosing a farm-
Carlos,
Yes,
who was that in the office that
Karam.
uses? Karan. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Let's see, mistakes to avoid is choosing a farm that's too large. Some people want to cover, I want to hit 1,000 homes right now. Well, can you sustain that? Hitting 1,000 homes twice a month for 12 months? Or for 2 years if you had to, right? And then, or if you're walking the farms, are you gonna be able to walk that farm of 1,000 homes twice a month? Right? So you have to be realistic, and I think most new agents should start with around maybe 400, 300 to 500 homes to start, and then if you want to expand a little bit, you know, it's up to you, but I think that's ideal for a newer agent. How many homes are you hitting?
Well, that's what I'll say is like, if you wanted to do the mailers for the EDDM routes or whatever, it's hard to find a route small enough for like 300 or 400 homes. The route that I
In the neighborhood that you want to farm in?
if you wanted like to just focus on 300 or 400, because that's what your budget is allowing, it's hard to find a route on like the USPS website. The one that I'm doing, it has 700 residents,
Yeah,
Oh,
so.
so when you do EDDM, it covers more than the 700, right?
No, I mean, it's actually 738 homes total.
Yeah, but the carrier routes can sometimes include, like, one of the routes within the neighborhood will include streets from a totally different neighborhood. So
Oh,
then now you
yeah,
incorporate
yeah,
those into it.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you can, but you'd have to select like so many carrier routes. If the area has 5 carrier routes, maybe you do 3 carrier routes.
Yeah,
And you hit less homes, but at least you'll cover most of it.
Mhm.
That's the way to do it.
well, but you can also like, you can't pick the specific homes that you want though, EDD route.
But you could pick the streets, because like each route covers so many streets. And whatever's on that street is gonna be covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you probably print for that amount, that route though.
Right.
Like if you wanted that farm, you'd have that street. But you'd need a print for, you know, if you wanted.
Enough
if
to
you wanted-
cover, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a way around it, there's always a way around it. You might not cover the whole neighborhood, but like, let's say the neighborhood is 700 homes. If there's 5 carrier routes in there, right? But I'm only gonna do 4 carrier routes, and maybe I'm not gonna hit 700 homes, maybe I'll hit 550 because the last one goes way too above, you know, what I can afford.
yeah.
So maybe I'm just gonna do 4 carrier routes.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like the carrier routes.
Yeah.
It's hard to find one lower than like 500.
One carrier route has 500 homes?
That's what I'm talking about. Like
I haven't
the
seen that.
carrier route that I'm doing has 730.
Unless they're like condos, is there condos there?
That's
what it is.
There's condo and single family
Yeah.
and the apartments or whatever.
Yeah, that's,
But
okay.
then around it, I've checked, like, there's 600, I guess there's.
So maybe
apartments around.
just don't include the street that has those apartments or condos, and then do
Well,
the
then
rest of it.
how do you do that? Because I was talking to the printing company, I was
Yeah.
emailing her. She's like, kind of thinking I was like crazy, like, well, I only want 500. She's like, well, we don't always do that. We usually print for the whole carrier.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, just if there's 5 carrier routes in that neighborhood, just don't use that route that has those apartments, but use the rest of them. Right?
I see, yes.
So now you're just eliminating that whole, you might miss some single family homes.
Yeah.
But it's like 300 less homes that you're gonna hit,
Yeah,
which are apartments or condos or whatever it is. So yeah, choosing a farm that's too large and you try to do too much at once, that might be detrimental to your business. You might not want to do that. And then avoid being inconsistent. If you send out one flyer this month and then one flyer 3 months later, you're not gonna be known as the expert. You know, and it's not consistent. Lack of follow-up, if somebody calls you or emails you, follow up. Right? Don't forget to call. And not tracking your return on investment or adjusting. So this is important because you want to track what you're spending in the neighborhood, how many homes you're hitting, and then are you getting calls? Especially like if you're doing, let's say paid leads, you're paying all this money every month, but the leads they're sending you are pretty crappy leads and they're not good buyers. I would think twice, you know, about renewing if all the leads that are coming through are bad, right? So you gotta review all this stuff.
No, I don't wanna derail it, but like, what would you say is like a bad lead though? In terms of whether it's.
A bad lead is maybe they're looking for a property that they don't qualify for at all. Or maybe they don't make enough money for it, maybe they're just looky loose, and they don't really wanna buy, they're just kind of looking around. What you can do is just keep that person on your list and then just keep in touch with them until they're ready to buy. I mean, but sometimes you're gonna get leads that are, they're looky loose, or they can't afford it, or they don't qualify, or there's gonna be something. Or maybe they just don't like the house and like, okay, thanks, and then they move on to something else with somebody else. So sometimes these people will call, inquire about different properties on different websites, and different agents call them back. So if they inquire about a property on Zillow and they send you the lead, they might also send you any time that they inquire about another property for the same buyer. But if that same buyer went to Redfin or Realtor.com and you're on Zillow with them and they inquired about a property there, then another agent from that website's gonna call it.
Yeah.
Right, so maybe they went with another agent instead of going with you. So that could be a bad thing.
Cause I think it was either you or Rich were saying that we should only work with like people who are pre-qualified already or something,
Yeah, I wouldn't show property to anybody that's not pre-approved.
pre-approved.
Roughly, what's the successful rate when you do those farming or leads?
It's different for everybody. There's not one number. And I think there might be an average out there, but everybody's gonna be different. And it depends on, and the reason is because everybody's sending out different amounts of flyers per month. Everyone's sending out different information per month, or they're not consistent, or so they're sending out, let's say you wanna measure your success rate, but you're not sending any information about real estate, you're sending out gardening tips. What do you think the success rate is gonna be there? Versus someone that's sending out, real estate information, right? So I don't think there's a way to measure this. They have numbers out there, oh, their success rate is this, I think that's just, they just want numbers, right? Let's get people to do this, let's use this number, it's like, everyone, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
And then depending on how many homes you cover, right, maybe you cover more homes, so your success rate is better because you cover more homes, right? You're gonna have somebody call you, if you're covering 10,000. I think Jay and Sarah, they mail to 10,000 people a month. But once a month. So, yeah, someone's gonna call you, right? So success rate, yeah, we're getting listings. But if I send out to 500 homes, it might not be the same success rate. Maybe I'll get a lead 6 months down the road. So it's gonna be different. Yeah, so yeah, that's not something I can answer. So final thoughts. Real estate marketing is a long-term strategy, so don't expect instant returns. Someone might give you a call and say, I just wanna know how much my home's, I don't wanna sell, but you know, I just wanna know how much it's worth, since you said that you'd let me know how much it's worth, but no obligation. Sure, let them know how much it's worth, do the work. They're gonna appreciate it, right, that you took the time to do that. And maybe when they're ready to sell, they're gonna call you. So success comes from consistency and relationship building. Remember, it's a relationship-based business. Choose the right area, use the right tools, and stay the course. Housekeeping. Advertising at first point of contact. So remember, anytime that you're setting up first point of contact or setting one up is advertising. Especially if you're presenting yourself as a realtor. You must include your name, designation, DRE number, phone number, and responsible broker. Responsible broker is Coldwell Banker Platinum Properties. This includes, but not limited to, flyers, which includes handouts, postcards, door hangers, stationery, things like that. Business cards, print ads, whether it's magazine or newspaper, social media ads, electronic media, which includes internet, websites, text messages, telephone calls, emails, television, radio, cinema, streaming video, audio, and then billboards, I think is what I have down there.
Pretty much everything.
Billboards, which includes signs, for sale signs, for lease signs, open house signs.
For the designation, what, like, it's realtor?
Realtor, yeah.
But I've seen people just put like real estate professional.
You
That's
can
good,
do that.
that's
Yeah,
good enough to it?
yeah.
Oh, so it has to like say you're real estate something.
And this is what the disclaimer looks like when you're sending out a market update. Based on information from California Regional Multiple Listing Service, or CRMLS, as of June 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025, that's what I put in that red. And or other sources, all data including all measurements and calculations of areas obtained from various sources and has not been and will not be verified by broker or MLS. All information should be independently reviewed and verified for accuracy. Properties may or may not be listed by the office agent presenting the information. The listing broker's office, offer of compensation is made only, actually, I can't remember to take that off, because there's no offer of compensation anymore in the MLS. So we'll remove that from it. So that's what the disclaimer would look like. And must be in 7 type. At
What's
least,
the AOR?
Association of Realtors.
Associate?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that too.
And then finally, dress for success. And so when you're meeting with a client, dress professional, right? If you're a police officer, people know you're a police officer because you dress like a police officer. You go to a restaurant, you see a chef, you see the chef with the chef uniform with the little chef hat, you know they're a chef, right? When you walk into a bank, you see the banker, they're wearing a nice suit, a nice tie, they're dealing with money, they're professional. You don't wanna look sloppy when you're dealing with someone's biggest investment in life, right? You wanna make sure that they, you confirm by the way you look that they made the right choice. All right, so market yourselves. Now, let me show you those websites I was talking about. So this is Corfact. I'm logged in right now because I have an account with them. And so if you can upload your contact list here on My Contacts. And then once you upload them, then you can order anything you want here, but let me show you an example of some of the mailers. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna do the postcards. That's the one I wanted to do. So there's postcards that have home valuation, which is home estimate map. This is pretty cool. Give it a second. And what you can do here is you get to select from all the different templates which flyer you want to send out. Let's see what she has to say here.
Are you missing out on one of the best reasons to use Corfact for your direct mail marketing? Hi, I'm Sierra with Corfact, and today I'm going to be chatting with you about the Corfact trackable QR code. Historically, direct mail and farming has been a great way to brand yourself and bring awareness to your real estate business to people in a geographic area. However, it wasn't always great for visibility of the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns. Well, Corfact has changed that by revolutionizing the way that people interact with your direct mail. With a trackable trackable QR codes that are available on every direct mail piece for no additional charge. You're able to see who is interacting with your direct mail. This gives you feedback as to the effectiveness of your direct mail campaign. It helps you strategize what's resonating with your farm area, where you're the most effective, where there's some room for improvement. By default, the Corfact Home Estimate feature is available and shows homeowners recent sales and active listings around their property in a home estimate that's unique for them. So when they scan the QR code, they get a personalized experience just for them. And because it's a unique QR code, we notify you that that QR code scanned and the name and address of who scanned it. What if you're looking to promote your own website? Maybe you've got a great YouTube tour of a current listing, or maybe you want to take them to a website where you've got all of your market activity. Maybe you want to invite them to an event that you're hosting to build relationships. Well, the Corfact QR code is trackable for any URL that you provide. When you're in the template editor, simply hit add a QR code, type in your URL, and make sure that the track QR scan.
Okay, so we're not gonna go into that, but I wanted to show you guys, there's different templates you can choose. So like, let's say I was to choose this one right here. What this would do is for every home, every homeowner I'm sending it to, it's gonna put their home or pin their home on the map and show them all the recent sales, just like it shows right there. So it's personalized. I mean, how cool is that? That it personalizes each flyer with the map, with their home on the map. And there's a personalized QR code for that particular homeowner. So if that homeowner scans that to find out how much their home is worth, it notifies me, hey, the person at 123 Main Street, they just scanned the QR code to find out how much their home's worth. Maybe you want to reach out to them. So now you know, because you have their email address, because when they logged in, let's see. So that would be one side, and then the other side, you can select what the mailing side would be, choose anything here. But the cool thing is that once somebody scans the QR code and I receive an email, I can log into my contacts. And then I can see who logged in and when the last time they logged in was. So like if I go down here, let's say this person scanned the QR code on this date. And then let's see over here. I want to impersonate them so I could see what they saw when they scanned the QR code. So this is when they scan the QR code, this is what came up. Is this information correct about your property? And you say, yeah, it's correct as the homeowner, right? And then this is what they see. This is the estimated home value of your property based on the recent sales. And here's the recent sales up here on the map, but also here's the information on those recent sales. But it has my information on top as a realtor. So it's personalized because the homeowner's name is Ronald. Say, Ronald, here's the information that you requested. Cool. Yeah. But the cool thing about this is all included with the postcard service that you purchase. That $1 per postcard, you get the printed postcard, the mailing of the postcard with the personal QR code for each homeowner that is scannable, and we'll create one of these for each one of those homeowners when they scan it. And it also comes with this back end that shows you who scanned it, when they scanned it, how many times they scanned it, which I think is amazing. So if I had a farm area, I would do this mailing piece maybe once or twice a year, in addition to what I'm doing, or in place of what I'm doing that particular month. And I think this is really awesome.
How much
So-
you pay to get?
This is $1 per postcard. So when you upload your list, it ends up being about $1 per recipient.
How do you do the addresses?
How do you what?
The addresses.
You can get that from the title company.
Oh, and then you like send over the big list or whatever.
Yeah, they send over the list. They can send you, you can ask Mary to send you the list that's gonna go into Corfact. So they set it up. Specifically for Corfact. So you can just upload it and it's just, yeah, you don't have to map any of the fields. It uploads. Yeah. So that's one of the lead gens that I want to show you. And then the other one, the landing page for CMA. Let's see.
So I-Core is part of the core fact.
No, this is different.
Okay, I have this core too.
Yeah, this is from the MLS.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
so right now I'm logging into the MLS. This
Yeah,
is
I
completely
see.
different from that. Yeah, so when you log into the MLS,
Mhm.
and you can click on Cloud CMA from here. And the first time you click on that, it's gonna have you create an account. So go through the account setup process, and then you'll be able to access it. So then you're gonna go to the top right corner here and select on lead generation. And then it's gonna take you to this is what the landing page is gonna look like. And you can change some of the settings on it, but let me click on view landing page. And so this is what it looks like. So if I were to say, I don't know, someone were to type in their address here, like a buyer, potential, a seller, home seller. I don't know. You wanna give me an address, somebody?
3186, that's mine. Via Buena Vista,
Via what?
Buena, Buena, Buena Vista. Laguna Vista,
Okay.
I'm at the B.
Okay, I'll just
What
do
is
this.
it?
So then I click on, so this is you going to my website, to this landing page and asking for a home valuation. And then it says, we found it. There's the home on the map.
Mhm.
And then what's your name and email address and phone number?
Mhm.
And then you hit, email my report at the bottom.
Mhm.
And then you're gonna receive an email as the homeowner, and then I'm gonna be notified right away saying, hey, Alice just requested a home valuation, and then I can create the CMA and then either try to find your contact information or go to your house, knock on your door and say, here's a customized CMA for you.
I see.
And how can you use this? Well, you can click the URL on top. Let's see. Close that. You're gonna copy the link
Mhm.
here and then go into Facebook and paste it into one of the posts. And it's gonna show the link for it, right? You can say,
The
if
Facebook.
you would like to, know how much your home is worth, click here, whatever message you want to enter, and then it takes you to that page. So that's pretty cool. And that concludes the presentation. Any questions?
Very informative.
Carlos, what was that app on from our landing page there?
It's Cloud CMA,
That
It's
is Cloud CMA. Okay,
MLS.
cool. Thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
stuff.
Thanks, Carlos.
You're welcome, Harriet. All right, that's it. See you guys next week.
Yeah.